Hi guys, so here we go with a basic exercise where you have three verbs here. To cook, it's an ER verb. To build, which is an IR verb. And to lose, which is an RE verb. And you have a list of tenses labeled per level. So if you're in year 7 and 8, you can do these ones. If you're in year 9, you can add these ones. Year 10 and 11, you can push until the subjunctive here. And year 12 and 13, you've got those three extra. So what you have to do is put this infinitive in each tense only with the pronoun je. Don't do the other pronouns, you, he, and she. I just want je, just as a little practice exercise. So pause the video, take your time. You can use the grammat if you want, and take your time. I'll mark this in a few seconds. So I'll do it, I'll mark this per tense, so I'll work in lines just so we revise the same rule each time. So I want to say I cook or I am cooking in the present. The rule is take off the ER and put the present ending for je, which is I. The second verb, bâtir, the rule always says take off the IR and put the proper ending for the present with je. For IR verbs, it's IS. Here, same drill, you take off the RE and you pick the right ending for the present tense with je, and that's an S for RE verbs. So, je cuisine, I cook, je bâtis, I build, and je perds, I lose. Then we have the perfect tense where you want to say I cook, I have cooked or I cooked, I have built or I built, and I have lost or I lost. So you need that part for I have each time, which is called your auxiliary. So you start by writing I have. You can actually do it for each verb because it's the same everywhere. And then that's where you need to pay attention. So the rule says, again, take off your ER, but here you replace it with an E accent. Here, take off the IR, replace it only with an I, so that's I have cooked and I have built. And here, take off the RE and replace it with a U, j'ai perdu, I have lost. The near future, you want to say I am going to cook, I am going to build, and I am going to lose. So each time you have I am going. So that's the part for I am going. You can put it for each verb. And then the rule says I am going plus your infinitive. So you just have to copy what is at the top of the column. No change here at the end. Like that. And that means I am going to cook, I am going to build, I am going to lose. So that's it. If you're in year 7 and 8, you can stop here. If you're above that, we carry on. Simple future. You want to say I will cook, I will build, and I will lose, which is not really optimistic, but never mind. So the rule says, obviously put your pronoun each time. And the rule says you copy your infinitive as it is here. So that's the first thing I will do. But here you keep the ER, you keep the IR, you keep the RE. Actually, I made a mistake because here you're supposed to take off that E for pronunciation purposes, so I'll correct that in a sec. So at the end of your infinitive here and here, you add the simple future ending, which is AI. And here, like I said, you take off the E and you add your ending. So if I tweak my mistake so it looks good, that's it. Je perdrai, I will lose. Conditional, same rule, almost same rule, different ending. So put your pronoun down, put your, that's a C, I know it's not obvious. Put your infinitive down except now I've remembered my lesson. Here, don't put the E at the end, and you put your conditional ending, which is AIS, each time. And that means I would cook, I would build, I would lose. That's it. So if you're in year 9 and you're happy with that, stop here. We move on for year 10, 11, 12, 13. So the imperfect, which might be a bit more tricky because there's that twist at the beginning you need to be careful about. To build the imperfect, you start with the new form of the present tense. That means you need to put these verbs here in the new form of the present. So if I do the first one, I'll use that as a draft here. So the new form in the present tense of that is my stem without the ER and ONS. And then the rules says take off the new, take off ONS, and you have your imperfect stem. So I, then you put this down, and then you use your imperfect ending that you stick at the end here, and it's AIS. So je cuisinais means I used to cook or I was cooking. To build, that's where you need to be really careful. If we put that in the new form of the present tense, it would give, take off your IR, but then the rule says the ending is ISSONS. And your rule for the imperfect says take off the new, take off ONS. So you have to keep this here. So now that you want to build your imperfect, je, then you put the stem you got from here, and then you add your imperfect ending, which is AIS. Je bâtissais, I used to build or I was building. Perdre. You take off your RE for the present. We lose, nous perdons. Get rid of nous and ONS. And then you've got je. Pick your stem here. Put your infinitive ending, your imperfect ending, which stays the same. Je perdais, I used to lose or I was losing. That's it. The pluperfect. So, the pluperfect, it's a perfect tense, so it works kind of like this one, except that your auxiliary will be in a different tense. You want to say, I had cooked, I had built, I had lost. So, I had, it's the verb to have in the imperfect, which is j'avais. So you can put that everywhere. And then, actually like in your original perfect tense, you take off the ER, put an E accent, take off the IR, put an I, take off the RE, put a EU. So, j'avais cuisiné, I had cooked, j'avais bâti, I had built, and j'avais perdu, I had lost. The perfect infinitive, that's the one where you want to say after having cooked, after having built, etc. I don't really have the space to write after, so I'm just going to write having cooked. So, usually you would put après, and after having cooked, it would be après avoir cuisiné. Once again, you follow that rule for each perfect tense and you take off the ER, put an E accent. For to build, après avoir bâti, actually I would have had the space to write après, and here I will do it fully. After having lost, après avoir perdu. So it's called, little reminder, it's called infinitive because your auxiliary here is the infinitive to have, avoir. The present participle, so while cooking or by cooking, while building, while losing. The while or the by, it's en. then actually it's here. You take the new form of the present tense, take off the new, take off ONS. So I have my stem ready to use here. Cuisine. And then the ending for the present participle is ANT. En cuisinant, while cooking. Here, same trick as for the imperfect, because you start with the same stem. So, en, bâti, you keep that ISS, and then you put the present participle ending, en bâtissant, while building, upon building, by building. And the last one, en, once again your stem is here, and same ending, en perdant, while losing or by losing. The subjunctive, here we go. Que, always the que, je, and then you take off the ER, and you put, well actually I jumped a lot of steps here, so steps, sorry. You're supposed to start with the they form of the present tense, so il cuisine, take off the they, take off ENT, that's your stem, that's your ending. Sorry if I jumped a little bit too fast. Il bâtisse, that's the they form in the present tense, take off they, take off ENT, and use that stem, so it's actually the same, but for some verbs it won't be the same, so don't use nous instead of they. Que je bâtisse. So, for example, if you use that in a sentence, you could say, it is possible that I cook tonight. Il est possible que je cuisine ce soir. And the last one, we are lucky we're using regular verbs in the present, so there's no trick. Que je, that's your stem from here, and then you put your I, que je perde, that I lose. The past historic, which is always tricky even for me. So, je. Then you take off your ER and you put your ending for the ER verb, which is AI, je cuisinais. For bâtir, different ending here. Je, take off your IR, and the ending is IS, so actually it does look exactly like the present. What will help you understand that it's the past and not the present, it's only the context. And here it's an irregular, so hopefully you had seen that word here, and it's je perdis. So here you don't put the most common you put IS again. Future perfect. So you want to say, I will have cooked, I will have built, I will have lost. So I will have, if you remember your irregulars in the simple future, is j'aurai. So you put that all the way. And then, like for any perfect tense, you follow that rule, the same as the original perfect. Take off the ER, put an E accent. J'aurai cuisiné, I will have cooked. For example, I will have cooked dinner when my brother comes home tonight. I would have built, well, now that's easy. Same as here. I mean for the past participle. And I will have lost, j'aurais perdu. And then the last one, the conditional perfect. Actually, it's almost the same as here. There's only one letter different. So you want to say, I would have cooked, I would have built, I would have lost. So I would have is j'aurais. And then once again, your past participle here, which doesn't change. And j'aurais perdu. There you go. So I would have cooked a pizza, but I didn't have any tomato. That's it. Once again, how do you tell the difference when you hear those tenses? Because they sound exactly the same. Usually it's context. I will have done that when something happens. I would have done that if. So it's a matter of context to make the difference. I hope that went well, and I hope that was useful. More exercises to come like these, hopefully in the coming days or weeks. Have fun, guys. See you.